So our fourth speaker for the District 22 International Speech Contest is Wally Long, Difficult Steps. Difficult Steps, please welcome Wally Long.
My heart was pounding as I stood right on the edge, staring straight down into what would certainly mean my death. Contest master and fellow Toastmasters and guests, this terrifying ordeal started a few minutes before as I was driving by a bungee tower in Branson, Missouri with my wife, my children, and my mother. Mom looked up. "Hey, Wally, have you ever thought about doing that?" What I should have said was, "Mom, why would a sane man jump off of a 75-foot tower attached to rubber bands?" But instead, not wanting to appear like a coward in front of my children, "Yeah, Mom, I've thought about it. It would be a great thrill. I just can't justify spending money on such a thing. I'll pay for it." Uh-oh. What did I just walk right into with my big mouth? She paid the money. I climbed the tower. At the top, a young man rigged a harness to me, attached to 3 rubber bands. They call them bungee cords. "Sir, you stand right there on the edge. I'll count to 3. When I say step, you just step off like you're taking a walk. It'll be a great trip. Are you ready?" "I'm ready." "Okay, 1, 2, 3, step." "No, I'm not quite ready yet. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm ready. All right, 1, 2, 3, step. "Yeah, you know what? I'm not so sure I need to be doing this." "Sir, it's quite all right. A lot of people are a little nervous their first time. I can help you. I'll start the count. Then before I say step, somewhere in there, I can just give you a little push." "What? No. Don't you touch me. I got this. I'll do it this time." "Whatever you say, sir. 1, 2, 3, step." "Ah!" I screamed all the way down. "Ah!" Finally, I reached the bottom, bounced up and down several times, and it was over. I had survived that short journey. I had taken a very difficult step. As we walk through this journey we call life, we find ourselves in many situations, smaller segments of our journey, that require difficult steps. Oftentimes, those difficult steps are accompanied by fear or anxiety. Sometimes those difficult steps lead us to a place of great pain. And on occasion, those difficult steps will test the very limits of our physical, emotional, and spiritual strength. Such was the case for me and my family in March of 2011, when my brother and his wife were brutally shot to death right in their own home. Our world turned upside down. Then our upside down world came crashing down around us when the authorities told us they had arrested my brother's own 12-year-old son for the terrible deed. Some 5 days after that incident, I had an overwhelming but unexplainable urge to visit my nephew in the prison where he was being held. As I sat in that small room across that small table from that small boy, I realized I was at a crossroads in my life with 2 different paths from which to choose. Down the one road was hatred and anger that could consume me and then infect all the people around me. Down the other road was kindness and compassion, which could bring healing to so many people. Down the one road was a sense of justice. This murderer needed to pay for what he had done. Down the other road, I could see a young boy, hurting, scared, confused, who needed to know that someone in the world did not hate him. When the visit was over, I reached up across that table and I hugged that little boy. I'm still your uncle. I still care for you. With that simple, yet painful and difficult step, I started down a journey that would lead me and my family to a place of healing and restoration, and would teach me along the way what it means to love and forgive in a way I had never known before. I don't know where you're at on your journey. Perhaps someone has hurt you, or maybe your world has been turned upside down by tragedy. Or it could be that you have some decisions to make that will change the direction of your life forever, and you're finding it difficult to take those steps. Now, I don't know where you're at on your journey, but I do know that if you'll take the first step, then the next, and the next, regardless of how difficult they are, one day you'll look back on that journey and realize how far you've come and what you've learned along the way. I don't know where you're at on your journey, but I'd like to help you take at least that first difficult step. I want you to join me on my virtual bungee tower. You could stand right where you're at, right on the edge, thinking about the difficult steps that are facing you. I'll count to 3, and together we'll step off into our journeys, and it will be a great trip. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, step. Contest Master.